Opening scene, 12 a.m. to 3 a.m. Moving in. Scene opens with Ethan carrying boxes into a dimly lit, outdated apartment complex. The hallway lights flicker, and there's a faint hum of an old ventilation system. Landlord, gruffly, handing him keys.
Place is cheap, but it's got history. Quiet building, no loud parties, no guests after dark.
Ethan chuckles, taking keys.
Guess that explains the low rent. I like quiet, so that works for me.
Ethan notices the landlord's expression tighten for a moment before he turns away. A neighbor, a frail old woman, peeks out from her door, wide-eyed, lips trembling as if she wants to say something, but then slams the door shut. Ethan, muttering to himself. Cut to Ethan inside the apartment. Small, old-fashioned, but clean. The only odd thing, the bedroom door has 3 different locks, all installed from the inside. He raises an eyebrow but shrugs it off. First night, 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. The watcher appears. Ethan wakes up suddenly, the apartment eerily silent. He hears something, soft, deliberate shuffling sounds outside his bedroom door. He stares at the door. The locks are still in place. Ethan whispers.
The hell?
The shuffling stops. A long silence. Then, a whispering voice from the other side of the door. Low, rasping, distorted. Voice. Ethan. He jolts upright, heart pounding. The apartment is empty. The only sound is the clock ticking, and it's exactly 3:12 a.m. Something shifts in the shadows, but Ethan doesn't notice. The haunting intensifies. 7 a.m. to 10 a.m. Second night. Objects are moved. A chair is dragged into the center of the room while he sleeps. Third night. He finds his bedroom door open in the morning, despite locking all 3 locks. Determined to figure out what's happening, Ethan sets up his laptop camera before going to bed. The footage plays back. The room is still for hours. Then, at 3:12 a.m., a tall, shadowy figure emerges from the corner. It stands there, unmoving, watching Ethan sleep. Ethan, whispering in horror. The figure never moves. It only watches. Ethan fast-forwards the footage, and the entity remains motionless for 3 hours. Then, it simply vanishes. Desperate for answers, 10 p.m. to 12 a.m. The next day, Ethan questions a reclusive neighbor, an older man who refuses to open his door completely.
Hey, weird question. Have you noticed anything strange at night? Like things moving? Or whispering?
If you see it, don't move. Don't blink. Don't acknowledge it.
The door slams shut. Ethan is left stunned. That night, despite the warning, Ethan stares at the figure when it appears. It was always still before, but now it moves. It takes a single step forward. Ethan, whispering in terror.
No.
The figure takes another step. The screen glitches violently, as if reality itself is breaking. The whispering grows louder, overlapping voices murmuring his name. Ethan blacks out. The truth is worse, 12 a.m. to 2 p.m. Ethan wakes up on the floor, trembling. He researches the building's history, only to find something horrifying. Every past tenant vanished. No bodies were found. Only one survivor, an elderly man who had lived in the apartment for 40 years. His police statement read, "Oh, the shadow is not the threat. It's the warning." Ethan plays back last night's footage, dreading what he'll see. The figure appears again. But now, something new happens. In the reflection of the bedroom mirror, there's something behind Ethan. A second figure, a grinning, faceless humanoid. It watches too, but not at Ethan. It watches the shadowy figure. And the worst part, as soon as Ethan looked at the shadow, the second figure smiled. It noticed him. Final scene, 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. No escape. Ethan breathes heavily, sitting in the dark. He finally understands. The shadow wasn't the threat. It was protecting him from something else. He locks his door, turns off all the lights, and sits frozen in bed, refusing to move. The figure appears again, but this time, he does nothing. Silence. The figure stays in the corner, watching. Then, the second entity appears in the mirror. It leans in close, almost like it's smelling him. Its head tilts, its jaw slowly unhinges. And then, voice whispering right behind Ethan. "Now you see me." The last thing heard is Ethan's sharp, terrified gasp. Then silence, like if you want to keep the shadows at bay. Share if you're brave enough to invite others into the unknown. Subscribe. But remember, the deeper you go, the harder it is to escape. Comment below if you dare. The spirits are listening. But don't forget, the more you engage, the closer we get. And we're always watching.